Hello everyone, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I like to share with you one graphic and one concept that I like very much. It's from a David Hilson book called Understanding and Managing the Risk Attitude. And this graphic, it's all about understanding the human behavior behind the risk management process. And this graphic, of course, just in audio, it's hard to explain, but I will give you the link. And also you can Google Understanding the Risk Attitude, David Hilson, and you'll see this graphic. But basically, in the X, you have in one side the level of risk. In the other side, in the vertical axis, you have tolerance level on the up part and discomfort level on the bottom part. So it's like an inverted T, okay? And then we have an S shape as a graph. And the S shape show first on the two extremes of the X, you see the two extreme profiles on the risk attitude. The first extreme profile is those with a minimum level of risk. They feel an extreme discomfort, very, very strong discomfort. This is what we call risk paranoid. Those are with not a normal reaction. So every single risk is perceived by them as a huge, very, very strong risk. In the other side, on the top part of the S, we have exactly the opposite. Those with an extremely high level of risk, feeling an extremely comfort on that. This we call risk addicted. So those who need the risk. Close to these two areas, close to the paranoid and close to the addicted, we have a less intense profile, but it's still very strong. Close to the risk paranoid, we have the risk averse. What is the risk averse? Is that the group or the people or the organization that feel a very high discomfort, not like the paranoid, with a quite low level of risk. And in the other side, very close to the risk addicted, we have the risk seeker, or I like very much to say the game player. And the game player is a group that feels quite relevant comfort with a very high level of risk. So these two are not extreme as the paranoid and the risk addicted, but they are very strong. And in the middle, we have the normal profile. So we have paranoid, we have averse, we have normal, we have game players or risk seekers, and we have addicted. And it's very important, if you do not understand where your organization, where your group, or where you stands in this graphic, you will misuse the process of identifying, qualifying, and responding to risk. Because if you have an extreme behavior, you will shape a set of risks that maybe are extremely detailed and you are capturing very irrelevant risks in the case of paranoid or risk averse, or you are missing extremely high risks because you are game player or because you are a risk addicted. If you understand this, you will shape much better the way you do risk management. Because risk management is all about understanding people's perception about the threats and the opportunities that they have. If we do not understand this, it's pointless to have a very great tool, a very great process, if you do not understand how people behave when they identify, qualify, and respond to these risks. So it's very, very important. I think David Hilson did a great job on understanding this framework. So I'm putting on this post the link for those without access directly to the site that is subscribing this on iTunes. I suggest you to Google David Hilson with H, David Hilson, Understanding and Managing Risk Attitude. You will find this graphic there, and it's a very relevant and valuable graphic for us to understand risk management. I hope you enjoyed this podcast and see you next week with another 5 Minutes PM podcast.